They called the best series of the playoffs, and oh, it was good. 4-point game, Aaron Gordon cutting this one to 1. Then ensuing play, Dante DiVincenzo, prepare to hear his name quite a bit, responds with a 3 on the ensuing play. Now Jokic trying to make something happen, takes us to the rack. Nasty. Jokic doing Jokic things to cut the lead to 2. After Denver makes a free throw, Jamal Murray trying to get something going, can't quite do it, but Dante DiVincenzo, that right there is the dagger. And just like that, the Wolves tie up the series at 1 apiece, getting the road win. This is the second biggest playoff comeback win in franchise history for the Timberwolves since the 97-98 season. For what it's worth, they did blow the Nuggets a 19-point lead at one point in this game. Denver snapping their 14-game winning streak with that loss. They're now 1-5, by the way, all time in a best-of-7 series when it's tied at 1 apiece with home court advantage. Just something to keep in your back pocket. Meanwhile, as for the Wolves, they snapped their 4-game road losing streak in the playoffs. In Denver, their second home loss in the first round since 2023. We welcome in CBS Sports NBA analyst John Gonzalez. As this series, John, has so far been as advertised, the Wolves and Nuggets just not letting up in this game. We saw 15 lead changes, both of the guards going for 30 burgers. But it's the Wolves who end things up on the road with the win. But I want to get your biggest difference maker for the Minnesota down the stretch.
I mean, what a game, right? This is exactly, you called it. This is as advertised. This is why everybody flagged Wolves and Nuggets in the first round, and it's delivered so far. Game 1, not as close, obviously, but to have 15 lead changes, and I think the biggest game changer for the Wolves for me, Dante DiVincenzo had a really good game. He was a little quieter in game 1, but it's Anthony Edwards playing 40 minutes, right? I mean, you needed, as he mentioned it in post game, he said, well, I basically barely played basketball for a month. He had played 4 games before tonight. This is his 5th game in a month, right? And he had to knock off some of that rust. He was dealing with that knee injury. He goes for 30 and 10 tonight. Looked every bit the superstar that he has been for the Wolves and had led them to back-to-back Western Conference Finals. I had this series going 7. I was a little skeptical midway through this game, Kiana, where they were down 19. I'm thinking, man, are we even going to get that many games out of this thing? And now all of a sudden it's going back to Minnesota tied up. And this was an absolutely crucial performance by the Wolves because they have never won a series when they've been down 0-2. So now all of a sudden, this is exactly what we all thought was going to happen. These two teams going at it in the first round, and it looks like we're in for a really good series.
Also, I got to just throw in for those that were watching this game, but when in the first quarter you have Denver outscoring them 39-25, second quarter Minnesota outscores Denver by that exact same number. It was just a thrilling game and just going to show it is truly a game of runs. But I want to go back to, because you were talking about Anthony Edwards playing 40 minutes in this game, but one of the big themes entering game 2 was that Minnesota's others had to be better. Did this game prove that to you?
Yeah, and they were too, right? I mean, yes, it all starts with Anthony Edwards. And again, I'm circling that 40-minute mark because I didn't expect that they would get that many minutes out of him. And for him to go 40 minutes, all of a sudden you're thinking, okay, this is really good news for the Wolves. And this at least gives them a shot against a team that they're really evenly matched with. But yes, absolutely, the rest of the supporting cast has to be good. Now, Dante DiVincenzo has been sort of hit or miss this season for me. Tonight, he was excellent. 16 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. Julius Randle also really stepped up. He goes for 24 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. And the big thing here was Julius Randle and Naz Reid had to spend some time guarding Nikola Jokic, who had a double-double, almost a triple-double tonight, because Rudy Gobert was in foul trouble. And Rudy Gobert, not the greatest game for him, no blocks, but in the fourth quarter when he comes back from that foul trouble, had a couple of series where it's not going to show up in the box score, but he had a couple of series where he was guarding Nikola Jokic and made him work and made him miss some buckets. And you're thinking, okay, not a great Rudy Gobert game, but at least after he comes back from foul trouble, he's contributing in his own way, right? And then Naz Reid, Ayo off the bench, Bones Highland even had 13 points. So yes, this was one of those games where that supporting cast, it wasn't all on Anthony Edwards, and they definitely helped him out tonight.
Maybe that's the recipe for success when we're looking at the rest of this series. But I want to dive just a little bit deeper in, because how much credit does Minnesota deserve just for hanging around after trailing at one point by 19 points, but also, how much blame does Denver deserve just for not closing the door when they had the opportunities? Plural.
Yeah, the Nuggets are probably going to be kicking themselves because they could have really put the Wolves up against it. Again, the Wolves have never won a series down 0-2. So the Nuggets, when they get on the plane to go to Minnesota, they're going to be thinking about this a little bit. Oh, man, we could have been up 2-0 going into Minnesota and really had a stranglehold on this series. But I really give the Wolves more credit than anything because 15 lead changes in this thing. It's going back and forth. Both teams are trying to land the knockout blow. Nobody gives up, and especially not the Wolves, who were down 19 and come roaring back to win this game on the road in Denver, a very difficult place to play. And they could have given up when you're down 19, right? They could have just said, oh man, this is not our night. This is not our series. We're not making it back to a third straight Western Conference Finals. We're not even making it out of the first round. And here's another thing that I wanted to flag. Not only did they fight back when they were down 19 and with all these lead changes, but they also they missed 11 free throws tonight, right? They win this game by 5, but they missed 11 free throws. That could have spelled doom for them. They are a bad free throw shooting team, and that's something that they've been trying to clean up all season. It's not going to change now, but they were 29th in the NBA in free throw shooting. That's not a place you want to be. And even on a night where, once again, they can't get their free throws to fall, they just keep grinding. They just keep coming at you. And that's a big win for the Wolves and a really good one.
Yeah, absolutely. Something worth noting, most definitely, that free throw shooting seemed like it was a big issue for them, especially earlier in the game. Started connecting there later down in the fourth quarter, but nonetheless, something they want to clean up against this Denver team. But it makes me want to ask, just piggybacking off of what you just said, just how significant is this result of Game 2 when now this series making its way to Minnesota, and considering just how intense and how physical this Game 2 was?
Yeah, it's huge, right? I mean, it's everything. It really might have spelled doom for the Wolves. Now, I know that they haven't won a series down 0-2 before. I suspect that going to Minnesota, they would have definitely made it a fight, but now it's 1-1. And as everybody knows, the series really starts when a team wins on the road, right? Well, they already got one on the road, and they got one that they probably are looking back on it and going, man, how did we pull that off, right? Down 19, and we get 40 minutes out of Ant, and Julius Randle looks good, and Jaden McDaniels chips in, and Dante DiVincenzo. And here's the other thing. The Nuggets were the hottest team in basketball finishing out the regular season, and then they win that first game of this series. They had won 13 in a row, so they snap a 13-game winning streak for the Nuggets in Denver, and now you're going back with all the momentum into Minnesota, where Ant looks like he's healthy, and all of a sudden you're thinking to yourself, okay, this could have been a really difficult series for us, but now we know that we're just as good as the other guys, and let's see what happens.
It's going to be very interesting how Denver responds, because you talk about that win streak. Could a loss like this be a little demoralizing? Do you bounce back? It's going to be very interesting, as we'll be waiting to see what happens is who takes the next punch in this series. John Gonzalez, I know you'll be all over it. Appreciate you. Well, take a look at this. What a run by the T-Wolves. Taking a look at this game, the largest comebacks in a playoff game. Wolves, the second largest on Monday night against the Nuggets, trailing by as many as 19. The only other time they had a larger comeback, guess who it was against? Oh, look at that. The